Swayam Prabha, Digital India, Educated India.
So these are the problems. This is if you look into your problems set that I sent. So this is what it is. And let me also know how many of you have used the steam table before, or the whole class knows how to use the steam table. Okay, fine. So steam table, the only problem is the small size. Fine. So I've got it. That's the reason I will teach it. I am not assuming. I don't assume things that you will know. So this document is available with all of you. The steam table I have shared. So this must be with you. So you can either follow the screen, or you can open in your device. This file which I have shared also in Microsoft Teams. Also I had earlier mailed in email. This is a steam table. So what exactly is a steam table? Steam table is a lot of data you have for water actually at different conditions, and primarily it talks about steam. And you might be knowing that steam can exist essentially in two forms. One is the saturated steam, that is at 1 atmospheric pressure. If your steam is at 100 degrees centigrade, that's saturated steam. But if at 1 atmospheric pressure, if your steam is at 150 degrees centigrade, then it is called superheated steam, right? So this everybody understands. Let me also ask you that, okay, maybe I'll ask the question later, whether you use a superheated steam or a saturated steam or whatever you want to do. So if you look into this whole document, this is a very comprehensive steam table, right? So if you look into the first set of table, it's called the table B1. It is the saturated water temperature table. So what it means is that if you go to, let's say, so I'll make it a little bigger. So let us first see what are the headers. So you have a temperature which is in degree centigrade. Then you have a pressure which is in kilopascal for a while. So up to here it's kilopascal, 84, up to 84.554 is kilopascal, right? And then beyond that it becomes megapascal. This is easy. And steam table, please, for God's sake, don't start mugging the steam table. Huh? You will be provided with the steam table. You will need to use the data, and that's good enough, right? So next two data are also quite important. In fact, these two data are your VL and VV. And these are essentially the specific volumes, which is opposite of density. And it is self-explanatory. What is VL and VV? So VL is the specific volume of the liquid phase. VV is the specific volume in the vapor phase. So very simply speaking, if you just find out 1 by this thing, you will get the density of the liquid phase and density of the vapor phase. Let's always, I encourage the whole class to quickly do one thing. So if you go to this 100 degrees centigrade, you see the saturation temperature, saturation pressure is 0.10135 megapascal. That's 101.35 or 325 kilopascal, that we all know, that is atmospheric pressure. And this is the VL, that the specific volume of liquid. And if you divide this 1 divided by this 0.001044, you get it. So this unit is meter cube per kg. So you get the density kg per meter cube, which is very close to 1000. So we understand that this VL and VV are essentially the specific volume of the liquid phase and specific volume of the vapor phase. Now there is a very interesting set of data. This is specific enthalpy, specific internal energy, right? UL cap, kilojoule per kg, specific internal energy for the liquid, and this is the specific internal energy for the vapor phase at a given temperature and pressure. We'll take up 1 or 2 problems. It will become very, very easy. And therefore, this is the change in the internal energy because of vaporization. Similarly, you have data for enthalpy, in the specific enthalpy in the liquid state, specific enthalpy in the vapor state, and therefore the delta H values. And again, if you go back to this 100 degrees centigrade, 1 atmospheric pressure, we all know roughly about the number, right? It's in calories, everybody knows that, right? It's in joule. Here it is in joule, of course. So you go to this 100 degrees centigrade, you find the value is 2257 joule. This is the delta HV. This is the latent heat of fusion. latent heat of vaporization. So now you divide this by 4.2 and you will get that number, which is close to 540 or something like that in calories per gram molar. I forget the number, 568 or whatever. You also can find out similarly the values of entropy. In your second year, I will not use the value of entropy and we will not need it. So this is roughly how the first table is presented. I'm asking the class to ask questions to me. So this is what is the temperature table. This is what is called the temperature table. So how does it go? The primary axis. So you understand if it's a single component system, essentially you need 2 degrees of freedom to define any point. So first you look at the temperature, then you look at the corresponding pressure, right? And then as a function of that, this is what is this? This is the saturation pressure. And according to that, you have several data available, which are specific volume in the liquid phase, specific volume in the vapor phase, specific internal energy in the. So first thing is, everybody now understands the headers. So what is it? This is any temperature, right? This is any temperature. This is the corresponding saturation pressure, right? So if your temperature is 100 degrees centigrade, you know that the saturation pressure is 1 atmosphere, which is in kilopascal, it is given. So there is a question whether it is kilopascal or megapascal. So if you just look into these numbers, there is only one transition. So there is only one transition here. So you see the numbers is increasing in 84, 70, 84. As it turns 100, it is being converted to MPa. It's just one transition. Rest of the data, if you go to the next page, right? If you go to the next page, you will find that the numbers are now in all in megapascal. So here you see page 1. This is a super minor thing. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. So here is the transition from 95 to 100 to 84 to its 0.1. And beyond that, it's all megapascal. That's all about it. There's nothing to ask. But I'm more interested in figuring out, does anybody have any problem with these headers? So this is specific volume in the liquid phase, specific volume in the vapor phase. Everybody understands specific volume? Specific volume is 1 by density. And therefore, since the liquid density and vapor density are different, VL or VL cap or whatever is written is 1 by rho L, VV cap is 1 by rho V, right? This is internal energy, specific internal energy, right? In the liquid phase, this is specific internal energy at the vapor phase. So what is delta U in that case? What is this entity? What is this? This is change in internal energy due to vaporization at that particular pressure, right? Similarly, you have data for enthalpy also, right? And this is here the stream table I have shared with you. The numbers are in kilojoule, so which is perfectly fine. It's not your problem. And then you can also find out the change in enthalpy. Is it clear to all? So this is the first table where everything is essentially same. Only thing is we need to just figure out about the superheated table. Now, I really wish I could take this class in a classroom. It would have been easier for all of us. Next what comes in? Last 3, can you repeat? What exactly do you want Shayan to tell me? Last word? Entropy. These 3 are the entropy. S. Specific entropy. At the liquid phase, vapor phase, and the change. So this is the, for every each one, liquid phase, change, and this is the vapor phase. So this is HL cap, enthalpy, this is the delta H, and this is HV. So it is rich, full of data. You can find out, or you might have to do some bit of interpolation, but you have all this data. Some people have done all these measurements. It's extremely important for any operation involving steam. That is why steam table is so very important. Okay, give me some time, and all these doubts will get clarified. So second table that we have, so that is the first table, and what was written was temperature table. The second table we have is what is called the pressure table. It's exactly the same thing, just the presentation is different. I don't know. I think Arjav, that's an assumption. It's a very good point. I have never noticed it before. Yeah. So I think it's some sort of an assumption. I will try to come up with an answer. Because it's 273 Kelvin, why UL is assumed to be 0, I do not know. The steam table is a standard international document. A good point you have raised. I will check and get back to you. I don't know. Or I think the whole calculation is based on that assumption. I really don't know. I think there is an assumption. Definitely, I'll answer to this question. Good point you have. But as of now, I do not. I might have forgotten. I might be missing out. Whatever. Okay. So here is the second table. Second table is exactly the same. I would like the class to take a look. What is the second table? Any difference you find? Is the class finding any difference between the first table and the second table? The only difference is the way the data is present, right? The only difference is the way the data is present. First column has p values instead of t. Great. So what is the utility? What is the utility of this table? Let us see. I'll pick up problems I have given in the problem sheet. But let me ask a simple question. Comment on the nature of steam. The statement is you have steam at 0.15 megapascal and the temperature is 150 degrees centigrade. Saturation table is given. Don't confuse it. That does not mean where I have written the question, this question. So Abhash, this is for you. Samira, I'm coming to your question. First thing is I have asked a question. It just so happens since I am teaching in this online mode, right? I have written the question on this page. Nowhere I have written it's saturated or anything. So this is the first thing you need to write. So Samira, why do you mention no data is given in the table? Arjav Rastogi, because it is written is a wrong answer. Hope you have got it. How to decide which table to refer, temperature or pressure? No data is given in the table. Sai Vardhan. Very good, Vivek. Absolutely. While you were asking, or others were asking about which table to use, which data to use, right? So Vivek has actually given the absolutely correct answer. And the correct answer is as follows. Sorry. The correct answer is as follows. See, what is given is 0.15 megapascal, right? 0.15 megapascal. So for 0.15 megapascal, you go here and you find out for 0.15 megapascal, the saturation temperature is 111.37 degrees centigrade. Okay, it is clear to all, and I have not taught fully, right? So you are in the process of learning, and as usual, we have started to ask questions so that your learning experience becomes more pleasant, right? So what is the data you have? Of course, you don't say no data is given. 0.15 megapascal, of course, something is given here. And this is for you to infer. You are not here, it's not a calculator, right? So what you find out is at 0.15 degrees centigrade, your saturation temperature is 111.37 degrees centigrade. And what is the temperature of the steam that has been specified? It's 150 degrees centigrade. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is, I told you to comment. Whatever you can infer, the conclusion is this is superheated steam. And what is the degree of superheat? Is it clear to all why I say it's a superheated steam? And coming back to the concern several of you raised, including Abhash, saturated water table, right? Saturation means these two set of values are giving saturation, right? So if your 3 kilopascal, saturation temperature is 24 degrees centigrade. This is where you understand the of things not boiling properly in hill station and the effect of pressure cooker, right? So you increase the pressure, what you see, your saturation temperature increases. You reduce the pressure, your saturation temperature reduces. But this is what, so it's going to be a mixed bag. So for us, what is the most important information is at 0.15 megapascal pressure, right? And we understand that up to, since you are seeing the whole table, up to here it's kilopascal, and then it's a smaller number, so you go to the higher unit, it's megapascal. So at 0.15 megapascal, saturation temperature is 111.37 degrees centigrade. Here the saturation temperature is 150 degrees centigrade. Therefore, it is superheated. What is the degree of superheat? Degree of superheat is this. You're supposed to sit with your calculator. So it's around 38.63 degrees or 60. This is the degree of superheat. Is it clear to all? And then, of course, I agree to the concern raised by all others. Since this steam, what we are talking about is not saturated. Therefore, you cannot use any of these data which are available for the saturated steam for this particular steam. Is it clear? None of the data are relevant. Saturated water. Saturated water is water converted to steam at its normal boiling, at a particular pressure. So I'll put it like this in very simple terms. 1 atmospheric pressure, we all know what is the normal boiling point, 100 degrees centigrade. So saturated water, saturated steam is essentially means that water has been converted to steam, the temperature remains 100 degrees centigrade and pressure is 1 atmosphere, right? So similarly, if you look into this particular data, for example, let's say, yeah. So if your pressure is 0.2 megapascal, your saturation temperature is 120 degrees centigrade. So if you have water or steam or whatever at 0.2 megapascal and you have steam which is at 120.23 degrees centigrade, that is saturated steam. Now you can have, you all understand, you can have, let's say at 1 atmosphere, 100 degrees centigrade, you can have either water or steam or a mixture of both. Is it clear? Let's talk about the simplest thing first. Even if the pressure is 1 atmosphere, temperature is 100 degrees centigrade, you can have three possible stuff. Water at 100 degrees centigrade, right? Steam at 100 degrees centigrade, okay? And you can have a mixture of both. You can have partly steam and water. Agreed? So if you have water at 100 degrees centigrade, 1 atmospheric pressure, this is 1 atmospheric pressure, right? So if you have water, so your specific volume is this. Your for the liquid, this is the specific volume. So let's say we have water at 100 degrees centigrade, 1 atmospheric pressure. I am keeping it as of now for simplicity. So if you have water at 100 degrees centigrade, this is its specific volume. This is going to be its specific internal energy of the water. This is going to be its specific enthalpy. And please pay attention that in the liquid phase, since there is no expansion of volume, therefore specific enthalpy and specific internal energy data are exactly same, which is very logical. There can be some minor deviations here and there, right? And yeah, so entropy we are not considering anymore. On the other hand, if you have steam at 100 degrees centigrade, right? So steam at 100 degrees centigrade, the specific volume is this. The specific enthalpy, the specific internal energy is this. The specific enthalpy is this. Is it clear, Rishi? So what you are essentially mentioning is that, so this also explains partly Samira's question, which table to use. See, I asked you a question, 0.15 megapascal is the pressure and 150 degrees centigrade is the temperature, right? So what is my condition of the steam? And we all understand what is superheated steam, yes or no? Do we all understand what is superheated steam? Please clarify that. I'm coming to your point, Shalini. Why I use this table and not the previous table? We all understand what is superheated steam, yes or no? What is it? Only few are responding, others I don't know what has happened today. I thought I am dull today. Anik Mondal, you do not know superheated steam is like 1 atmospheric pressure. What is the normal boiling point of water? What is the normal boiling point of water? 1 atmospheric pressure. What is the normal boiling point of water? 100 degrees centigrade. It's steam above 150 degrees centigrade. Absolutely wrong. Arjav, get your concept corrected. No, it can be at 105 degrees centigrade also. So normal boiling point is at 1 atmosphere is 100 degrees centigrade. So if you have steam for which the pressure is 1 atmosphere, I'll write it down here. This is extremely important. So this is what we have. Normal boiling point so what does it mean? That if pressure is 1 atmosphere, your saturation temperature, this everybody understands? what I mean by saturation temperature. Shalini, I'm elaborating. Please give me the time. So everybody agrees to this data, what I have written? And how do you get this data? So if instead of P is equal to, instead of 1 atmosphere, if let's say P is equal to 0.5 megapascal, what is the corresponding Tsat? See, I am here to teach. That's why I don't give assignments straight away. I will handhold you till you learn, till all of you learn. Don't worry. So see, what I have written is pressure is, so Samira, this is for you. Pressure is 0.5 megapascal. And I would like to know the saturation temperature. So what table should I refer to? Is it useful to look from temperature pressure or pressure temperature? Of course, it's more useful to look into the pressure temperature data. Therefore, I straight away go to the pressure table and I find out what is the saturation temperature for 0.5 megapascal. And here is the data, pressure temperature, Shayan, absolutely. Samira, this was your question. So are you clear with it? So if you do that, now immediately you will find that if your pressure is 0.5 megapascal, right? Your saturation temperature is 151.86 degrees centigrade, right? So what you can straight away write from steam table, which does not come from Charles law, Boyle's law, anything. Is it clear? This you can get. Is it clear to all of you? Great. Now let's say somebody asks you that he has steam at 0.5 megapascal, steam or water or whatever, 0.5 megapascal, and T is T. It's not T saturation. It's T is 200 degrees centigrade. I won't use the word boiling point, Samira, because boiling point typically refers to normal boiling point at 1 atmospheric pressure. I would put it as the boiling point of the point of vaporization, temperature of vaporization at any pressure. At any pressure. Is it clear? Because if you use the word boiling point, we are sort of mentally we think it's all only under atmospheric pressure. That mistake you should not make. Is it clear to all now? Great. So let me also, before I move on to the second problem, this particular problem, I don't care if we don't make any progress and we just learn to use the steam table like this. So now what additionally you can get from the steam table is, so you now know, this is also the question Rishi had, that if your pressure is 0.5 megapascal, your saturation temperature is 186 degrees centigrade, right? So you can have water at this condition, or you can have steam. Or in other words, you can either have pure liquid or pure, you can have pure liquid, you can have pure vapor, you can have a mix of both. This everybody understands? What I have written, that at this condition, even at this condition, you can have your stuff in three forms. You can either have pure liquid, right? I would put it like it is saturated liquid. You can have pure vapor. I will put it as saturated vapor. Or you can have a mix of both. Everybody understands this? Fine. So now, if I again go back to the steam table, if I have pure liquid, just make it a little smaller so that all of you can understand. So if you have pure liquid, what are the stuff you can dig out? You can dig out your VL cap is 0.001093, right? So you can get the specific volume if it is in the pure liquid form. You can get the specific internal energy if it is in the pure liquid form. This is 639.66. You can get the specific enthalpy, which is 640.21 if it is in the pure liquid form. you can get. So if anyone can help me, so we can write the three numbers 0.00109. I'll use the hard copy of this. I can't see such small texts. Yeah. So for 0.5, what are the stuff we can write? We can write the VL. We can write the VL cap, of course. We can write the UL cap. No, I made a mistake. No, that's VL. VL is fine. UL cap is 639.66. I encourage all of you to kindly do it yourself. Whatever is the unit and HL cap. What is HL cap? 640.2. On the other hand, if you have pure vapor, you can find out the VV. VV is what is it? 0.3749. Why don't you start giving answers in the chat box? UV you have, it's 2561.2. HV you have 2748.2. So please ask yourself, all of you can find out this data. Yes or no? Are you able to find it out? So this is clear to all, right? Fine. So if only, let me ask another important question. If only this information is given, can you conclude whether you have pure water or pure vapor? If only this information is given, that you have some water or steam which has, this is the pressure and this is the temperature. I don't say that the temperature is Tsat. So the data that is given to you is P equal to 0.5 megapascal and T is equal to 151.86 degrees centigrade. So you take this data, or I give you a new set of data. What is the data I give you? I give you P is equal to 0.30 megapascal and T is equal to 133.55 degrees centigrade. So what would you do now? You would now go to the pressure table again. You will find out the number corresponding to, you will find out the pressure and you will find out what is the Tsat. If you look into the pressure table, your Tsat is 133.55 degrees centigrade. So therefore, whatever is given here is saturated. But you cannot comment what is no, sir. But you cannot comment whether it is pure liquid, pure vapor, or whatever. You can't comment. Now so is it clear to all? So now I am changing my statement. The change statement is, you have a system where your pressure is 0.30 megapascal, temperature is 133.55 degrees centigrade, and your specific volume is 0.0092 meter cube per kg. Yes, Rahul. or I will not give the specific volume. It is, I'll pick it up slightly later. What I will give is the specific enthalpy, let's say, is 2000 kilojoule. These are the three data given. Any comments? Yes, we can calculate now. So what do? We assume x is the fraction of the liquid and 1 minus x is the fraction of the vapor, right? So is the problem statement clear to all? Okay. So what is the first thing we do? First thing we do is we first check whether the temperature corresponds to the saturation temperature. Because this table B2 first page, what I guess all of you are seeing, you can use this data, right? You are using this data only. Because of the fact that first thing you found out that my pressure is 0.3 megapascal and the saturation temperature is 133.55 and the temperature of the system that is specified to me is also 133.55. Therefore, it's a saturated system. And there, since it's a saturated system, therefore you have the legitimate right of using all this data. Otherwise, you could not have used any of this data. So if you can use that, now you see that specific enthalpy in the liquid form is given as 561.45. Specific enthalpy in the pure vapor is given as 2725.3. And the specific enthalpy of your system is 2000. So what is the conclusion? So what is the conclusion? Mixture, very good. $561.13. No, sorry, 561.45. And HB is 2725.3. So anything else you can do? Shalini, Bhavna, Soumik, Aman, Sneh, last set of people, Samira also commented. More vapor. Why more? Why not the specific amount? Of course, you can find out the specific amount now. Let's say we have a mixture with x is the fraction of liquid and 1 minus x is the fraction of vapor. So what is the total enthalpy? X into HL plus 1 minus x into HV equal to 2000. Solve for it. You will get x. You will get what is the fraction of liquid, what is the fraction of vapor. Shoham. So there is no need of any subjectivity. You can precisely find out. And once you find out the fraction x, from there you can find out the specific volume as well as the specific enthalpy also. Is it clear to all? Steam table problems are actually fun. Absolute fun. Thank you very much. Thanks.